Kings on Bind, that feels like it's my birthday.
Yeah, and both of them have picked up a Viper as well, which is something we don't normally see. An aggressive start, though. GAMBIT looking to try and take some of that control away, get a little bit up in the faces of their opponents. And it looks like a lot of these pictures are very, very backwards. That is not BONECOLD. He's not wearing the GAMBIT colors, but he is going to find himself an opening pick.
Launching smoke.
Yeah. Would be an interesting outfit choice today for young old BONECOLD. Sheydos looking pretty good as well. Looks like the man himself. Shock darts coming through. Big damage onto starxo right away. He's got to run and make sure he survives as the second shock dart was quickly up behind it. BONECOLD. Part of the player coming through the TP. The snakebite's going to push him back, though. Takes the stance up on top, pop down some smokes for his teammates, and now he's a duelist looking to take some fights, but Nats takes him down right away. Turning around to watch the flank. Such good play by Nats, but his teammates are still stuck in spawn. They can't get out, and they need some help. The man himself comes jumping out of hookah window, and it's the distraction they need. Sheydos mowing them down, and the first round will, in fact, go to GAMBIT.
But I know you're a big fan of Defo as well, even though he's maybe switched up his role slightly from what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, big fan, mortal enemy. You know, you choose which word to use. But yeah, Defo is definitely a guy I got to keep my eye on. I'm just thinking about, I mean, yeah, he switched up his role in the sense that he's not playing the Jet, but at the same time, he's still a duelist, right? If anything, I think he's scarier when he's on this guy. You know what is scary? Just getting torn apart like this. It's an eco, just classics to play with. And, well, Tom, it's not exactly going too well, but that's what we expect.
Yeah, this is a round where realistically we can't expect anything from ACEND, and considering we're going to be getting the buy coming in the next round, it should be for them to do a little bit more damage.
You look at this setup for ACEND, and they're looking for some very early aggression right down through middle. It's GAMBIT that are trying to open something up. They're really trying to find some ground, but nothing was to be found. Even though the blind went through from Redgar, it connected. There's just too many players there who weren't blinded up on different angles, ready to swing out and help their teammates. Good start from ACEND, and a good follow-up, taking down the re-aggression from Redgar, dodging the flashes. And although Defo gets one, that is little consolation. For the bonus round that it is on GAMBIT, they really want to be walking out of this with 3 kills if they're feeling happy, just to make it costly for ACEND and make sure that with reinvestment in the next round, that they wouldn't have the ability to play.
And for now, at least, again, it's looking like there's going to be some early control battled for by the defensive side. In fact, they're pushing both sides of the map. They want both orbs, and you know what? I think they're going to get them.
Was that prepared? I mean, it feels like on some level they're used to that from starxo, that position, or at least over on the ACEND side. Losing a player that early on, getting traded out, then after they needed someone to step it up, and it looks like Kiles is the man to do it. The A side is now theirs. ACEND overrunning it and getting their plant down. And we mentioned that there was an ulti online for starxo. cNed painfully close to a res as well as he falls, and no one else on ACEND is going to be able to get it done. Not here and now. But if Nats finds a kill, Viper's pick can be online, and that could be a saving grace on this retake if they can just find that little bit of space.
It comes down to this battle, really, and it's going to be won by Redgar. Now they just have to try and clear out the remaining couple of laps, and you know what? Nats is going to get both. They almost tried to play that within a crossfire, but it just doesn't work out for ACEND. GAMBIT make that look, I'll be honest, a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. We haven't seen them in a long time, realistically, other than within the CIS matches. And versus Fnatic, their defensive side was incredibly strong. They did struggle versus Fnatic on the retakes, though, when it came to their attacking side. Like, they were losing a lot of those rounds in the match that ended up being their elimination. So we'll see if it's still going to be the case, but they love to take map control, and they've done it again. Viper's Pit already down on A, a couple of players challenging to try and deny any orb control, and basically just make it so that those ultimates are going to take a lot longer to come online. One of them, though, already popped. In fact, for both what?
I mean, he couldn't see the Seekers coming in, right? So it's a much cleaner shot on his side than it is on ours, because we can see them from every range. But that was a disgusting shot. Connected now gives them a chance to fight into this. The ulti still up on A. The wall aggressively down on B won't really stop them, considering the control that ACEND currently have. They've got weapons to play around, as well as ultimates with the res, with the orbital strike in play. This could be incredibly dangerous. Zeek not able to find it at the start. The blast back not quite coming in, but here we go. Right up to the back of the site. He dives into the orbital strike, taking so much damage, but it's unexpected. GAMBIT get completely blindsided by that, and at this point, I mean, this is a save, right? Viper's Pit is down on the A side. You might as well save inside it.
And that's just like, I have bathrooms.
If they come back.
they're not getting through bathrooms, guys. Don't worry. He literally hasn't moved. We've seen this a few times already in the tournament. I'm hopeful that he's actually just not moving. It did seem like when we went to his camp, it was absolutely fine. But no, I don't think we'll. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, we won't be having any of those problems today. But yeah, I think this is, again, another showcase of why Brimstone's ultimate on this map is just so ridiculously strong. Like, the backside of B is just basically completely covered, or it's going to be forcing a player out into a corner, which, again, we know from ACEND, they're going to be watching that corner every single time.
But what was interesting in the previous round was that they put it very, very aggressively. And it meant that as soon as ACEND had pushed past it, which in the early round, they can get past that wall before you're even close by, they're as comfortable as can be. And in fact, the flash that came out of Defo didn't even manage to land anyone because the wall was blocking it. It was a little weird. Obviously, because they had the ulti down on A, they wanted to have more B support, but they went an interesting route about it. Now, having spotted that, Judge, I think there's a good chance they just don't go towards this part of the map as starxo creeps up on it, which is scaring me a little bit.
I think it's almost just to try and hold players in with the rotation. As we've seen so many times, I'm almost sick of it. Like, I've had enough. I've had enough of the Judge. I've seen it in matchmaking games as well. Zeek, though, he's just taking control. Even if he doesn't get a kill here, he's going to make things very awkward. He got a little bit lost. Finally finds his way out of the poison orb, but they've got the control. The only thing they don't know is Nats. He's hiding, a snake in the grass. They're going to have his teammates break the wall for him so he can keep this control. It seems like BONECOLD was trying to check for it, but now Sheydos, he's got a showstopper of his own.
No way, man. The blind comes in exactly as the showstopper goes up in the air to take the kill. This is disgusting. GAMBIT are just running all over them. There's no space for ACEND. Where can they go? starxo's watching the back. He tries to make it to sight, and he can only get a glimpse of that A site plan spot before a bullet connects to his head. A gorgeous round by GAMBIT.
And ACEND ended up just walking straight into a trap. Yeah, it was a beautiful round. Zeek, he's going to go for something a little bit spicy. Now, we've seen this quite a few times now, the blast pack straight into a Judge in the face. I don't know how well it's going to work this time, because it seems like they're going to play a little bit further back from Hookah. Maybe he can get Redgar. I'd be surprised if he gets anything more.
Tom, you know my opinions about Judge on attack.
Oh,
I absolutely love it. You know, especially on the Rays, get those blast pack plays in the backside, and I almost wish that the push didn't come in just so we'd see it. But with Redgar down, that's a weapon to be retrieved, and obviously now the Judge shouldn't really be in play, but Zeek is just, he's going at it. He is really just sending it with that Judge. Eventually, he decides, I'll take the upgrade. A little spray on the way back as they make their way towards A. Nats, the solo defender, has a wall down, but he's about to be blocked out by the attacker's Viper wall. They intersect and don't really give a lot of room for Nats to do anything. He's got a silenced weapon, so spraying through that would be possible. Up goes the Sage wall to ensure the plant is safe. And now this is a pretty textbook round from ACEND. Should be tough for GAMBIT to find anything.
Yeah, they even have the TP locked down, so that they can't even, they'll know if anybody rotates in through that angle, so it basically funnels the remaining players straight through their own spawn, and they've got everything locked. The only problem was Nats, but realistically, how much are they going to be able to do with this amount of time?
Not a whole lot, you would imagine. At this point for ACEND, you know, you just want to drop these rifles, but they're starting to make some serious space. Nats taking down Kiles. Spike going to be stuck at least halfway. Zeek making his way through the wall, gets caught, but it won't be defused just yet. The time now running very, very low. They've got to get on it. It's already done. The molly lands right on Defo just in time.
I think he's proven now that Sage is very much within his wheelhouse. Also gives him the ability to get a few more reses online with how many kills he's going to be getting. So I would be a little bit more scared at this point if you're on the GAMBIT side. Redgar, though, well, it's not a Judge this time, but he's still going to be just playing close into Hookah, so the weaponry disadvantage probably won't play much of a part in this round.
You wouldn't imagine so. Really what I'll look at though is cNed. You know, he is playing this aggressive attack side up. A lot of the times you won't even see teams take that out. And it's not working. Not this time. The birthday boy of Chronicle just domes him, taking him out of the fight immediately. A very valuable skull to take, not just because of the fact that it's cNed and it's an off, which is justificational enough, but he had the res as well, Tom, and that limits their options now massively.
Yeah, they've still got the Viper's Pit. Also, a lot of the ASAT executions we've seen have only, well, basically relied on that wall because they haven't been able to clear out Nats. Well, I've said it before, I say it again, he's a bit of a rat. He's very difficult to clear out. Like, getting rid of him is going to be very difficult. I love the guy, fantastic player, but he just seems to be unkillable.
Kiles, he got pushed in the smoke as he goes to trade his teammate. Chronicle's already right up on him. Great response. You see that ult go down. You want to get in it, get ahead of that Viper on the other team, and even rounds back and forth traded. So it might seem odd to say that GAMBIT are sort of doing better, feeling like the stronger team, but you can see it in just how tight the rounds that ACEND won have been. As we said, the leads, the clear-cut victories that they should have had completely stolen out from under them. Now this early attack towards B, they know that there is that Sky close on long, and they're going to deal with it right away. Zeek just diving right in, but gets taken down. Not finding the space, they'll continue forward. The flash faked out by starxo as he drops in with the classic. BONECOLD's already taken Redgar. Seekers to secure the site, and they know now, hey, that Sky is still pretty close. Hunter's Fury to try and delay this a little bit longer. Not able to find much.
Killed his
That's a great
teammate.
tag, and he took Defo down. I was just looking at the red guys. Oh God, that's so terrible. Two-man advantage for ACEND. This is an eco. This is a light buy. ACEND are saving money for the next kill. What's going on right now? GAMBIT, that might be the lifeline they need to try and get back into this. They're still against weak weapons. There's a judge in the hands of BONECOLD, but that might be a much more scary thing than a Vandal or a Phantom as they look to push out of this smoke, and there it is. The judge tearing apart Sheydos. The trades in instantly, and that is about as clean as can be from ACEND, considering the round that was in it, Tom. So Hunter's Fury is going to be redirected towards the res. It's going to get a tag onto 2 or 3 players, and then you just start screaming. I'm like, Tom, he hasn't even done it yet. I'm like, oh, Defo's dead somehow. Oh, that is awkward for sure. Redgar's not afraid to tell them that he's playing this with a judge, is he? He is sending out the smoke signals, but he still lost control. Great raise utility to just push him back, and now a little bit harder to use that judge. They've even had to pull a rotate in.
Yeah, well, they could do that anyway, though. That's the thing. They've locked down, again, Showers with the ultimate from Nat, so they can afford to play a little bit of a gamble. They've also got Chronicle available, who still has his owl drone, who can go looking for information. And Redgar, I almost wonder if this is bait. Like, he has thrown in all the sound of him shooting that shotgun off towards Hookah, and then he's just sat in this ratty little angle, waiting patiently for the push to come in. Oh no, he's caught cNed. He looked like he was about to back away. The spike is actually right in front of him, but BONECOLD lands the headshot. So integral, but they're trying to isolate the spike, and that's exactly what they've done.
Taking them all down. Look at this, one by one they go in, and Sheydos is making easy work of them. They hadn't even spotted Defo tucked away in the corner.
It's like, you've bought some of the best players in the whole of Europe, you being one of them. You are definitely considered a super team. So it's the Turkish super team versus the EU super team coming up next, but for now at least,
Poison's off.
this match is definitely delivering. GAMBIT in the lead on their defensive side, and again, just battling for control everywhere on the map. They're not giving any space over it to ACEND. No respect given. It has to be earned. And again, you can tell they want to try and get something out of this orb, but Nats is just happy to peek into the angle.
Toxin screen down.
No charges.
They've pushed him back. They're flashing the corner. They're moving up. A lot of space claimed. Got a little ulti orb there for starxo. Gonna be just one away now from popping those Seekers out, and it's really Zeek I'm looking at. Starting to creep up towards the B site. There's a lot of players grouped up on B, and he has an ultimate to play with, let alone his general utility. That's going to be the showstopper pop. He's looking to blast back into the site. He can't get over there, though. The nade thrown up in front, the Seekers in. That slowed him completely. They managed to drop Nats elsewhere. That B fake has worked. Look, there's only one player trapped inside of lamps, and Redgar doesn't really have a choice here but to take this fight. He's good for one. The trade quickly in, and the plan secured. ACEND. Oh, that's a shock dart. 4 versus 3. Good post plant utility to play with. This should be their round.
Oh, that flash was gorgeous from starxo. Both players trying to rotate in as blind as humanly possible, and he's going to close out with an ace.
He's going to have to play behind his utility, much more passive stance. However, his teammate Sheydos does have that showstopper to play with. That could definitely be a difference maker as we come into the final round. You're almost guaranteed that that's going to get popped off. And Redgar has his ult, but, you know, no one cares. They've crept through, man. Look at this with the wall. They're all the way in towards the spawn. BONECOLD has a fight on his hands. The Sheriff, even gets a second kill. Okay, considering the fact that he had the worst weapon on the team, and there's a showstopper still online on the A side, that's actually started out pretty well. The problem is Seeker's now going to be picked up by starxo, right? There we go. He got the orb just now. Pops it out. That's going to be free information.
Well, yeah, they lost a bulldog and a pistol. So all in all, out of all the weaponry they could have lost, that's the best of a bad situation for GAMBIT. The fact is, though, they are going to lose control of this A side. Looks like a retake. What is that from Sheydos? How do you even have the gall to go for a peek like that? Just straight into the open. And they still have a player here. Defo is ready and waiting. He's got flashes to throw them down, the heals to bring his teammates back right up to 100. And well, already, showstopper could be about to make things a little bit more awkward. They were going to peek into it. He was ready for that, Mitch.
Oh, he absolutely was. starxo's got it all to do now. 1v3, and already picked it down to a 1 versus 1 on the backside. This is a man that aced the previous round, now looking to do so much more for ACEND. Up on top of the tube, not spotting. He'll drop on this, and now knows the player's in spawn, trying to bait him out into open combat, but time is so low. He has to plant, he has to stick it or go for the fight. All 4 kills for starxo. That is 6-6 at the halftime. A celebration we see in his player cam, and damn well deserved. What an incredible turnaround in these last couple of rounds from him alone. That was possibly the last outcome I saw from that situation. Like, once he played time, I thought that's it, it's done, you know? This guy's gonna peek him planting. Wow. Oh, the Tiger didn't get too much here. The wall completely countering it out. This is a very expensive start to the round, but one that definitely favors ACEND, having picked up that ultimate orb. No surprise that it was Zeek who grabbed that. The nade, so perfect, man.
Out of charges.
As soon as they hear the drone go out, it's just bang, right on his feet. And again, Tom, you know, that cancels out a 400 credit. Piece of utility. That is absolutely massive. Plus damage.
Yeah, again, we see these slow defaults coming out from GAMBIT. They know that at least somebody's here. They're not. He's not actually going to check this close corner. This could be a big problem. He's actually just gone straight through, trying to bait him out. But Kiles doesn't fall for it. He's going to be able to get rid of his CIS brother in arms. And while now, into the 5 versus 4 again. So much to delay. starxo, though, incredibly low.
Well, they're pushing them down. They're trying to go for the classic jump peaks with the right clicks coming in, and it's working for cNed. Oh my! Nats alone, 1 versus 3. He has that poison orb to help him on a fight in through hookah, but they have plenty of time. They're just going to run this down as the toxins slowly deplete. Eventually, the walls and orbs fall. Here they come. Spotted him on the backside. He's into the smoke, but cNed is waiting, and the right clicks do him an absolute service. Sprinkle in some sheriffs into this week by and see what they can get done. I know one thing. I'm still very afraid of GAMBIT when they've got sheriffs in their hand. They're just as good as rifles for most of these players.
Yeah, it's, well, go into any esport, any video game you've ever played, and you're going to get domed by CIS players. They're born with these pistols in hands. It's only after a few years of playing that they're allowed to upgrade to the rifles. That's just the rules of living here. That's one of the reasons I moved to Ukraine, hoping it would increase my aim. It didn't. I still suck, but maybe less than before. Who knows? There's lower blows. There's lower. Don't worry. There's plenty of stories in the Mitch Mann section of my autobiography, but
great.
Don't worry. Coming
I hope
soon.
it never gets published.
2031, I think, is the year.
Partnering with Team T, are you? Okay, awesome. Well, at 8-6, we're seeing that bonus round come through for ACEND. Lots of weak weapons, and of course, the strongest weapon in the game in the form of the Judge, but takes naded heavily. 15 HP. Heals are going to have to come through for him to have any sort of a chance in a duel up close. Oh, the snake bites really eating away at Redgar there. He's going to regen up a little bit of his health, but costly enough. I have to say for ACEND, like, they're playing really, really patient. I think they're hyper aware of the kind of defaults that Gambit want to play, that very slow play. You said yourself, Tom, that this isn't a team on ACEND side that will shy away from taking fights, but they're definitely holding their aggression back in these early rounds.
Out of charges.
Even still, though, they've managed to garner quite a lot of map control. Zeek, this is almost disrespectful. He's just pushing behind them with the Judge, and they know exactly where they're going at this point. It might as well be scripted, written down exactly for all the world to see, because cNed's now in the perfect spot. This is the bonus round. This shouldn't even be close. This is one we expect Gambit to win, and it's falling apart. Running out of time. Switch over to that Judge, and now it's left all onto Redgar to try and find 2 kills in 10 seconds because he is not getting a plant.
He's not getting the kills either, Tom. Let's give us a 48, or give us a 50 round game this time. I'll be happy.
Okay, well that's been willed into existence. Luckily you're the captain of the Jinx, so that probably means that Gambit won't get another round, and CIS fans can thank you for that, but pistols in this one once again. These slow rounds so far have not been working out for Gambit, and as said, like, a lot of teams have been able to bite them when it comes to this sort of setup, playing down that time. A lot of utility available for ACEND as well to slow them down. We know how long a brimstone smoke can last, but for now he's not really needing them, just picking them apart one by one, and this spread out across the map is really not paying off at all for Gambit.
It makes sense with the sheriffs to try and take those fights individually. Spread out, catch any pushes, and hopefully find a rifle to group up and take some sights. And there's always going to be that the duality of pistol rounds. You can either play them individually like this and try to get picks, or use numbers to your advantage and rush in. Kind of comp that they're up against here in ACEND, they have a lot of stopping power, so it's not necessarily going to be successful if you just go charging in. But, well, the latter isn't showing too much reward, as you said, Tom. starxo's even going to just creep away from that reveal. BONECOLD on the peak for 4. Give him the ace. Yeah, give him the ace. It's only against an eco, why not? But 10-6, right, here's the buy for Gambit. This is a serious round. If Gambit lose this one, they're in a lot of trouble. Look at this ulti. That is an unusual one. We usually see it used towards A-mid, maybe Bath. They're going to use it in hookah. So deep. Look where it goes. It goes all the way around towards their spawns. You can even use that to push up. That's big brain. That's not what I've seen before.
Deformed Pac-Man. Like, it's gone a little bit wrong, but yeah, he's chewing up half of the map. I'm not sure I've seen a bigger ult than that. It's not going to matter too much though, because even though they've got half of it locked down, the other half is being taken away from them. Nats with the triple. Already the flank coming through, but at this stage they should be expecting starxo to be there.
And Nats has his own little Viper's Pit now after that play. Kiles just loses his over towards the B side. He's fully made that rotate into A. Nice shot by starxo, but he's going to be all alone, and an ace clutch needed. Hey, he's done it already. He's found an ace before, but this time he will be denied. The weapons in the hands of Gambit certainly work out well to put 10-7 on the board.
Again, though, this is going to be an upgrade to the previous buys we've seen, as now the operator comes into play. On the attacking side, pushing him with an op, with a Sage, not too easy, but you post this man up with an angle, and well, it's a very different ballpark altogether. Nats again looks like he's trying to push and probe mid-A, and Sheydos doing the same into hookah. But BONECOLD, he's been on today. I think that's his 20th kill of the map already.
Oh, not too shabby.
I've got your trail.
The ace that we saw before, the orbital strike online, but hey, Gambit, they're a man down already. Those ultis might not be necessary. Unless they want to fight through the Viper's Pit, of course, because it's now being erected by Nats, and they're going to look to take some fights together. Orbital strike pushes them out of position. Spike is down on the floor. Still haven't managed to deal with that Viper, but it looks like they're about to catch Redgar out in the open, and starxo turns to take Nats out.
He's having a day, and well, as said, like, he's not always the focal point of this squad. BONECOLD, he's been another today, and Oh, I thought he was about to have a little bit more of battle. In fact, this has left things quite awkward for Redgar as the rest of the team haven't been able to push, and he's already on elbow.
Unfortunate for Chronicle, he wanted to get that tag in and try to follow up. No, they don't. They don't know he's going up behind them. I've absolutely no idea.
Okay.
They would have thought they would have read that one, but Chronicle now alone had the ult, but, well, it's not going to connect, is it?
Yeah, this is always the fear with ACEND. Everybody's turning up today. There hasn't been a player who hasn't had a moment, and for GAMBIT, they just haven't really been able to cope. Their attack has not looked particularly good. They let things slip when it came to their defense, and, oh, Zeek, oh, see you later. You might have a showstopper of your own, but Sheydos is going to blast through. starxo, though, oh, I thought for a moment he might be able to get a couple, but I think Nat's got that kill while blind.
But look who's right behind them. There's two players, in fact, flanking it in. cNed takes the first, and here's BONECOLD swinging out for more. They've spotted Redgar in the corner, and he's quickly dispatched, leaving Chronicle all alone. That Hunter's Fury not likely to be used here as Zeke gets rezzed up. Kiles going for the fight. Up close, he's the last man alive, but he just about gets it done. 13-7, and the clock is ticking down. We're about to get into the pistol round where GAMBIT look to make the recovery. Remember, the winner of this series will be qualified for Masters Berlin. A lot on the line as we get into the pistol.
Yeah, this map is the best map for GAMBIT. This is one that they've lost once since February, and one that they play regularly. A 41-4 record, absolutely absurd, but they are up against cNed, and he's already managed to find a couple of heads to at least kick things off. They've got a lot of space, though. Already deep control in towards B, but there's actually no one there for the defense. They just don't know that yet, and the spike actually still has to cross, but Sheydos gets the timing perfect.
He will have spotted cNed there, at least on the mini-map as well. So that is huge information to play with. They now want to push into B, knowing there's only one player here, and they've already got this control. Pushing up, now they've even seen the flank, so they should know this side is completely clear. That's why they're clearing the backside with a knife out. Normally, Sheydos would probably have his gun in hand. So now the problem for ACEND is getting back in here, Tom. They don't really have a lot to play with, because as they go in, look at this. All three players are on the backside, and, well, it's going to be hard to take those duels. That's nasty, man.
Yeah, you almost have to jump into the angle, which is just not a fight you're really going to win. The only thing that's there, maybe some shock darts can be thrown into the back corner to try and force them out of position. They now know exactly where every single member of this squad is, and you know what? cNed's already got his third kill of the round. It's starting to get a bit dangerous, but Redgar is there to close.
And they have to clear all the corners, because they expect there's going to be someone with a classic ready to right-click them behind one of the boxes, right? But no, there's just three on the backside. They take, oh, well, that's an awkward fight for cNed. They take all the fights. Cam's going to, oh, it didn't spot him. Okay, so this is really good information that they think there's a player on the left-hand side, or they know. They have no idea about down below, and in fact, I think getting spotted by that was intentional. They're trying to bait them into a fight. BONECOLD wins it, and the slow down's going to stop Sheydos from getting away. He's now trapped. They wanted to wall him in, but starxo just takes the fight. A classic, and he still wins it out. They're capable of pushing in, getting a couple of rifles here. Well, weaker weapons, but still having the potential to retake this A site and put up a damn good fight.
Looks like Redgar has ascended. It's very bright in that room, as is the future of this squad, I'd say. But yeah, this round unlikely to garner too much. The thing as well is you might be thinking, hey, they've got a couple of Spectres. They had nothing in this round. Maybe they could bring into the next. It's just not worth it for ACEND. They're gonna have rifles in the next round. Keeping these weapons would also reduce the amount of cash they get into next, which roughly be enough for them to actually get a Spectre anyway. So they might as well just try and do as much damage as humanly possible. Even an extra kill here is a dub for ACEND.
Yeah, breaking the window just to cause that bit of paranoia. It's gonna be tough to win any of these fights, really. I mean, these guys are playing without armor, but closing in the distance here, starxo has a chance, and good kill for him. Time so low. Winning this out is unlikely. He has a wall, but no time to even put it down. Just trying to bait them into open combat. And
you've got yourself two Spectres. Oh, make it a third. And some pistols alongside it. Like, this really isn't good. Defo's going to have to do something incredible, and in fact, he just gets a bullet in the face.
Yeah, good attempt. Poor results. In goes the drone. If this tags anybody, they're dead. Gonna spam through the smoke. He's popped his first recon out. Just put it blindly through the smoke. They started to push, and I was Worried that was going to be full commitment with 3 players still around this choke point, but GAMBIT happy to pump the brakes, and they're watching for their back. These tripwires, evidently, originally they wanted to go for a very fast strategy, and they didn't intend to meet such heavy resistance. Now they're leaving Redgar to lurk towards this A side of the map and make sure that ACEND haven't pushed up and therefore fully rotated to the B site and have a heavy stack. They know now that that's not the case because A main is clear. They're starting to move towards middle, and they'll spot this out to be clear as well, a player just playing passive in market. But what they don't know is that there is still a 3-man hold on this B site. They obviously haven't rotated to A, but they're not playing a deep mid. They're not playing a heavier A play. And this could be problematic as they look to push in.
Playing this one incredibly slow. And then the problem is, at this stage, they almost have to run through mid because they don't have the time to actually go all the way back around, which just means they're going to have to face straight into BONECOLD. And he still has his paranoia in mind. He's not going to use it, though. In fact, he just gets traded out almost instantly. It leaves cNed on his own, and with the operator here, it could actually be a bit of a problem of him being overwhelmed. In fact, he misses the first shot. Luckily, Kiles is alongside him, and the second flick is lightning fast. Nats will get 2, but he should be dead as he attempts to plant this. Almost needs to go for the kills, and he runs out of bullets.
Especially knowing that this is just such a big weakness for ACEND as a map recently. Like, sure, there's not a ton of data on them over the last 2 months, but that game versus G2 really did not look good. And with GAMBIT feeling so comfortable here, they're definitely not going to be scared about, you know, losing that 1 round to the rifles of ACEND. And already the answer has been there as they stop the mid aggression, they stop the A push, and they only lose 1 man for it.
Everyone hiding.
Yeah, the worry for me with this comp is that you're playing into a team hyper aggressively. You have to, because you don't really have the sentinels to lock down sites. And you're playing against a team that loves to play slow D40 rounds where they wait for people to push. So it's almost like you're trying to beat GAMBIT at the game they want to play. Now, ACEND definitely have the players to do that. Unfortunately, thus far, it's not exactly going great. Kiles goes down very early. cNed now basically has to kill everyone. He is going to manage to catch Defo as he flies above and fall back to the site at least, but 4 players potentially pushing onto him, he would need to pull off a miracle.
Paranoia just got used to pull him off the angle if he was still peeking long. They're trying to flank. The bullets aren't connecting. cNed is going to go through the smoke and take Nats down. He's back out for more. 3 kills on the board for cNed, and a round that looked certain to be in the hands of GAMBIT when the timer ticked away now is contested. cNed even has the ultimate to play with. No updrafts or dashes, which is going to be a little bit hampering. He's getting a heal up. The wall is broken. They know both players are up above. At least they should do. Those slows landing, stopping Sheydos from really repositioning the recon to slow them down that little bit as cNed takes the operator back out. He clears the angle. A 4th kill. The ace not quite going to be there because starxo comes in at the final hour, and a little thumbs up from cNed. You can't blame him. What an incredible round. His timing was perfect. Most importantly, the shots were damn crispy. That's why we love to see this man on a jet, the freedom he has to play that aggressive role, and, well, he does it better than anyone I know. That's for sure. Defo pops the ulti, the Blade Storm coming in here on a full buy round for ACEND. They'll see if they can do some damage, drop these weapons, and Tom, you know, their chances aren't great, but if that Blade Storm can find the first fight, and it may well do, cNed is going out on middle. The blades don't land, but cNed's shot does. God, he's so damn good.
I feel like if there's ever agent bans, Jet is going to be instant anytime anyone ever plays ACEND. Like, you're not even going to care what the map is. Even if it's one where he might not play it, like Vine, you still might just ban it just for the sake of it, because you don't want this happening to you. Just styling on players that are moving at the speed of sound. But like, the whole problem we have with the knives is like, yeah, players can actually run and basically sprint at full speed, and they're absolutely fine. For now, at least, they are going to have themselves a buy-in. It's not changing for ACEND. They are getting aggressive in every single round, and they have full mid control.
Oh, I thought Redgar was on the other side of that wall about to walk through into BONECOLD, but even still, the position that BONECOLD has is absolutely huge. Now, he can't... There we go. Perfect. So now cNed is covering his back. He's able to watch for the walkout mid. This is massive control. Well, you don't need a sentinel when you've got mid like this, I guess. And this is a default from GAMBIT. They're slowing it down. They're not looking to get over aggressive, and a wallbang headshot connects to Zeek. starxo falls mid. Might be in ACEND's favor, but the rest of the map is undoubtedly GAMBIT's. As they now have the option to, well, walk into the A site for free, and that's going to prompt ACEND to make some sort of a play. They have to make a move.
Try and bait in some shots from Redgar. He still gets the kill. That was the point of that move from cNed, was to try and bait in the peak, and well, Redgar gets the kills anyway. This might just have to be a save for Kiles.
But the spike's
operator. Okay, never mind.
It certainly does look like it, right? Remember him sneaking down, getting the info. They had a 4-man A stack before their opponents had even started stepping towards A main. But God, considering the start to that round, ACEND losing it out in the fashion that they did, it's just fights on the wings that don't go their way. A wall bang on A, like that was devastating. And now Hunter's Fury pursuing a player, not finding a kill, but cNed does. He's pushing up and eliminating Nats as they just fall on back, happy with the man advantage now in their favor.
They've already locked down A long with the wall. The dash actually going to come through on the other side, though, and Defo, he's getting caught quite often. Now, of course, it's his role within the team. Take the 50-50 duel, try and garner some space, and it's not going to work every single time. For now, though, it hasn't worked, well, most times. This is interesting, though. They have not seen the spike. They have every single... They have 4 players basically marking tree alone, which I don't think I've ever seen in a match of Valorant. So there you go, something new.
So many players here. No spike. The spike is just shifting towards the B site slowly. About to walk on and get the plant for free. But the problem is, Sheydos is trapped in the corner. And Redgar, well, he better hope that he's godlike. He's going to probably have to get away with a 4K, maybe an ace clutch. Let's see what Sheydos can get done. Make that a little bit easier. They're still sat here.
Yeah, they're going to save. Because that's the thing. Realistically,
10 seconds left.
There is absolutely a 0% chance that GAMBIT think that there's no one on B. This is a 5 versus 2. It doesn't make any sense to have 5 players on A.
Even with a drop over from Redgar, they're still going to end up, and unfortunately it's Redgar that ends up with the Spectre. They nearly lose a player. cNed is staying aggressive, and he's got one through the smoke. Caught on the way back, though. Defo picks up a double, now on the site, really trying to hunt down Zeek, who's just on 1 HP. 2, but, you know, close enough. HP in the 2s, Tom. This is ACEND having a pretty tough time to retake on this one. The res almost online for starxo, though, Tom. If he can just manage to find a kill, these numbers could equalize up, well, swing in their favor very quickly.
Oh, the spam through. It has to get him eventually. The 3 players assisting and Sheydos in the backlines.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the painting that we were making of starxo, maybe being able to get that res of it's so difficult. He's not going to get a res this round either, Tom. He's just being domed by Defo, who's evidently starting to pick up a lot of confidence. So we talked about this guy's role in this team. Go forward, try to find some openings. Or you're taking the 50-50s, oftentimes disadvantageous fights by dashing forward. Oh, Kiles wants to get up on that, but he can't get anything done. They now know that Zeek is up close too, so swinging on that would basically be suicide. He might just go for it anyways. Looks like Zeek is keen to take a duel. cNed elsewhere, picks up a frag, steps her towards the B site. They know that this is going to be a B hit at this point. The cage behind Zeek won't actually cover him. He's still up close, and they didn't suspect it. A double for Zeek, and into 3. And what a way to lose the round. GAMBIT have got to be kicking themselves, Tom.
They can't site hold unless they're just going to rely on individual plays to basically just wreck everyone as they walk into the site. They have to be aggressive. They have to take risks, and well, GAMBIT weren't ready for that.
Standing ahead.
I don't exactly blame them. You know, it was certainly not the kind of play you're going to be ready for. The guy just tucked up close on the smoke like that, and Defo went for the same route that he did before, right? Just dashing out, trying to get down that alleyway towards the B site. Not accounting for that thorn in the side, the player behind. Now, we move into this round, round number 10. ACEND have the operator on cNed and every single ultimate at their disposal. This is a pretty tough prospect for GAMBIT because they've invested a lot into this round. They don't want to let this one slip away and give ACEND the lead at the half. Remember, this is a map that on paper, ACEND should not be doing very well on. Least of all because they don't play it that much, the results, blah, 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 the G2 game. But GAMBIT, Tom, you read out the statistics earlier on this map, and it is frankly ridiculous how good they are at ACEND.
Yeah, they have a 91% win rate over 45 maps. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. Kiles, though. Oh, this is what we want to see from the Reign. The double kill actually coming in off the back of the Hunter's Fury, and, well, this round is done. There's 20 seconds for Nats, and, well, he might not look phased. I genuinely think he might be the calmest man in the universe. Like, I don't think I've ever seen his face move.
Oh, he blinked. He blinked.
10 seconds left.
You know, I was starting to get cNed vibes off it. Oh!
Cage triggered.
Well, that's a little cherry on top for the round. I'll take that one. He's going to go out for a little more. Shame. But that guild match saw GAMBIT in a
out of my
fairly
way.
similar
Revealing
position,
area.
finishing the attacking half on 5-7. They won the second half on their defense 8-1. It was dominant. And that can fill you with a little bit more faith, but we want to see that kind of 7-5, 6-6 scoreline, and it's not looking too likely as the kills just keep on going ACEND's way. Oh, I love this play! It's an anime fight in Spawn! Dashes, updrafts, and knives, but it's cNed that falls. Defo with a spectacular push, and Chronicle does well to extend this into, well, not an advantage per se, but with the control that they have, perhaps it is. The B side about to be crunched in on Kiles, late to the fight coming in on that A rotate, but you've still got BONECOLD and Zeek holding down this site. Ready and waiting, Defo quickly eliminates one, dashes to sight. The support his teammate has already made quick work of Zeek. The plant in, Kiles has to clutch.
Spike planted.
A single kill here, and, well, that Empress becomes ever more deadly. The ability to turn invisible, to disappear to your opponent's eye, and he's a little bit wary of the flank behind. There is that first kill. Now he can look to try and clear out, get a little bit of extra information. Now you do have the knives available for Defo and an operator as well. Not gonna get anything more. The Empress actually faded as well, so he's not gonna have that advantage anymore. The tags getting Defo ever low. It comes down to the 1 versus 1. The classic can do it, but it's the right click from the knives.
You rarely see that work out in that kind of form, but especially when you're up against an operator, sometimes it's your best chance. And with that, GAMBIT have secured their 5 rounds, their bare minimum already done. They now look to push further and connect an even half of 6-6. But cNed, oh, he's looking for some revenge. The knives pulled out for himself, and he misses them all. Oh no!
This might lull them into a false sense that he doesn't have an operator, but I guess it doesn't matter. Defo won't actually find out until he pushes up. The opener going their way. One of the danger men devastated, but still a whole lot to do. 3 players actually around mid as well. This is a fairly good read coming in from ACEND. They have the knowledge of the likelihood of where they'll push, but it's just an entry frag with the operator just swinging into angles. starxo will at least find the trade. He's still alive and kicking. He's got the res available to him as well to bring this back into a 4v4. In the meantime, though, the B site now being pressured as well.
Oh, Chronicle's already out. They walk right into him, but Zeek, Odin in hand, is shredding them.
enemy remaining.
Defo left alone on 50 HP. A hero he has certainly been. Has to reload that
30 seconds
operator
left.
and find 2 more kills. 30 seconds on the clock. Spike down shot. Not quite gonna get the kill for him here. He's down to the Bulldog. He's running out of ammo. The pistol comes out to break the door. And the operator, oh,
It's one of
he
those.
connected that shot.
Of cNed versus tens, it's something that everybody wants to witness at this point, but they
Revealing
still
area.
have to get through GAMBIT, and that is not an easy task. Kiles, though, this might be where he's able to thrive. Moving on to that attacking side, that entry fragger roll, just looking to run straight through all the utility, closing the door. Redgar actually gets a kill there, and Chronicle finds another. That's not bad for GAMBIT.
Especially after Kiles found the opening and healed up to 150 health. He had a massive buff going in for that fight, but met way too many players and utility along his way. BONECOLD, second thought about jumping up. Looks like a more passive stance is going to be taken. The wall about to be broken. starxo ready to punish any who step close, and the right click deals with them. Perfect positioning. Nats above. Looking to sneak out as a distraction is made by Sheydos, but there's so many players here. They have the manpower to watch it. It doesn't matter. Nats gets it done.
One
Smoke
enemy
down.
remaining.
Players behind it. Nats with another, and it leaves it all onto BONECOLD, who's quickly dealt with. That is a gorgeous retake, and GAMBIT claimed the pistol to put it 7-6 and possibly equalize things up. Now, Tom, I mentioned last time.
That must have been an insta-shot.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, I think it was a spam because the smoke had already well bloomed by the time he shot. Maybe he saw the feet, but my guess is it was just straight through the smoke. That's Spectre. Oh, it's Farmville.
Spike
Redgar
down
and
A.
Nats, they even get the spike. Another one way going to be chucked up above. And, well, ACEND don't have a great chance at this one. And Tom, it's not exactly the eco that we often expect out of these second rounds. You know, ACEND decided to force buy. They wanted to answer back the Gambit right away, and well, the remaining Spectres don't stand the best of chances.
One enemy remaining.
No, especially considering they're isolated as well. So that these double man pushes coming through. Kill will come through for starxo, but as you said, it's not a normal round, so we're not going to give it the same parameters. Like normally, if you're looking at,
I think this is just an uncomfortable map for ACEND, and not one that they will have come in expecting to win, but they're tied up, and the game is far from over.
Stay down.
Oh, surely he doesn't get more.
you might be looking at Defo here and thinking, well, he's taking quite a lot of risks for a player that currently has a rifle, but you have to bear in mind that even if he dies in this round, if he gets close to that Blade Storm, he's not going to care. It can be so much of an advantage, especially when you know that there's a purchase coming in the next round. That ultimate can make all the difference. And well, if you look at the other side, cNed's not even close. He's yet to have the impact that he had on the defensive side, at least. It's always a little bit more difficult, especially if he's going to be playing that operator on the attack. But, well, let's be real. We know that he can pull it off. For now, again, this is about at least doing some damage, because you don't want to be allowing Gambit to come in with a couple of flawless rounds going into the half, which, as you mentioned, they have proven versus top EU opposition they can utterly dominate on. However, it is looking quite likely that that might be the case, unless Kiles can do something impressive, and, well, unfortunately, this time he can't in what is the current economy. And this is before we even talk about the fact that they now have to start breaking through that utility, the Cypher utility that we see coming in from Nats, who, as I said, in my opinion, is one of the best Cypher players in the world.
This is where we see a much more comfortable defense as well from Gambit for that exact reason versus what we saw from ACEND. The fact that they have this ability to play nobody on middle, not even glancing at it with the tripwire up. And then obviously the supportive elements on the A side, the slowdown ability that comes with playing the Cypher. And this will change up as we go. Those tripwires are going to be in constantly different positions, and it's why we so frequently see teams play a Sentinel. Why we very infrequently see a team avoid one when it comes to this map. It just steals so much control away from you, and it limits you into a more aggressive playstyle on the defensive side that we saw ACEND have to go for multiple times. This time around, Gambit are very slow, but it's Defo tucked up in the corner with that rifle, who's about to take the opening fight, and he wins it easily.
And the best thing about it is he can just get out of there. No problems at all. 35 seconds up and coming on the clock, and they look like they're about to push into what is Nats' setup, and now he has the support of that rifle. We're going to see the initial leers going through, trying to deny some space. They know that Nats is here, or should have a decent idea, but the crossfire of him and Redgar have actually managed to hold on. He's lurking within the smokes that Jet has thrown down, and finally we start to see trades come in. It's BONECOLD waking up to the table, and the res is going to turn this round on its head.
Time is so low, though. That plant has to be found, and if they have any way of delaying it, that would stop the round here and now. It looks like it goes comfortably down, and the flank up by starxo finishes it.
Because they had to use a res in the mix of that, and it came down to some pretty clutch plays coming out from BONECOLD. So they invested a lot to get this one over the line, and now they're coming up against a much stronger buy. That was still Spectres mostly for Gambit in that round. There was only a single rifle, so this is now a much, much tougher round to beat. And we're getting very close to a lot of impactful ultimates being online. Blade Storm, 1 away. Res, 2 away. Okay, from the Shadows. That one's there too. Woo! But realistically, like, this is only the beginning for ACEND if they're going to make, well, I guess it's a comeback, but realistically, we're currently level.
Let's settle this once and for all. Twitch chat, what is the least useful ultimate? Is it From the Shadows, or is it Neural Theft? I want to know. I don't want to see anyone saying Cosmic Divide in there. We saw some good usage yesterday. I like it. Little does he know.
I don't know. I think it's Viper's Pit when you use it.
No, listen, Tom. We want to bring ourselves into it. That's just fine. The wall's about to go up. Look, these guys have got a nice angle on the site. Sheydos needs to be ready for it, and that he is. Even catching them on the TP to site. Spike down. They know it's commitment, and Sheydos keeps on fragging. 3 on the board, leaving cNed to do it alone. 1 versus 3. He fake plans, but nobody bites. They are playing this nice and passive. They're giving him the space, and hey, you know what? We'll retake us a 3, man. That's no problem. He's tagged up. He's trapped on the backside, and they are rushing him down. Defo definitely winning the fights up against cNed on this Jet play here on ACEND.
Now, they do still have the ultimate for cNed, which I wouldn't be overly surprised if he pops into this round. But, well, Mitch will be happy. That's a hell of a lot of damage coming off the back of the Odin.
That's a lot of damage, Tom. You know, you're very right. These guys are tagged up and having to use their heal early on. It's armor stripped away. Most of all, though, it's fear. You hear that rumble of the Odin. You do not want to push B main, but it looks like ACEND have a different interpretation. They're inviting themselves in and
Oh, he got both.
Down, B.
collapse them. Well, that is put an end to the sneaky play in B main. Looks like Zeke is waiting here for an angle, but Sheydos takes him and yeah,
Did he curve the bullet? They didn't look like they were lined up at all.
I'm gonna guess that that's a spectator thing. You know, sometimes in other games I've experienced the spectator
if you
climb
dash as you shoot, the bullet curves. Do you not know that?
Tom, please stop putting things into Twitch chat, Ted. These guys are going to be in the ranked games, dashing every time. We're going to play a ranked game later, and you'll be like, dude, why are you dashing when you shoot? He's like,
I heard this guy say it, I'll be like, oh, God.
It's your
I
fault.
heard for a reliable source. No, not at all. Not at all. They still have cNed's Blade Storm, but other than that, absolutely nothing. Kiles goes down. He's been having a bit of a rough time.
This is again where someone brings up the flag. Dirk is not from CIS. Gonna be raging later. cNed. He's actually gotten the rivalry between himself and Defo settled in this round in his favor. ACEND have lost Kiles and Redgar. Makes this so costly. starxo, cNed, and even BONECOLD. Redgar's looking for the ace, and it's only Zeek to stop him. A devastating blow to this ACEND side as a clutch is needed, but he might just be on for it. Chronicle drop-shotting with an Odin.
I also want to point, well, it's a bit harsh, but Redgar's just got the same amount of kills as BONECOLD in one round.
Oh, no. That's... You have to do him like that. cNed's in. He's bunny hopping into sight. There's a confidence on this guy. Give him a pistol, and he's a madman. BONECOLD, starxo already down. Redgar's dropping down for more, farming up that very valuable ultimate. As Nats, well, he'll try to deal with cNed. Oh, God, there was a second where I got very, very scared.
Just because they're likely to face off against buys in almost every single round, that's going to make things quite a bit more difficult now. BONECOLD, he's trying to fake out some of the sounds, but there's nobody getting aggressive this time. A more passive stance, at least. The operator locking down the back of the site, and all of the Cypher utility sat within mid and B once again. In fact, most of their delaying utility is on that side of the map. So after a few failed rounds on A, it looks like GAMBIT's going for a hard read on where they expect their opponents to be going.
Much slower round from ACEND. You see the thought they've put into this one, hoping that GAMBIT start to step forward, but it ain't happening, so they've got to create their own opportunities. 50 seconds on the clock and an Odin spraying through a wall from Sheydos. Curiously put down. This is going to stop them from actually making it out market. I like that, but sadly we won't get to see it in action this time around. ACEND have shifted focus, moving towards this A side as GAMBIT hold down with Redgar. This time getting caught. Out comes Reyna, revealing the information, giving it to a teammate, and BONECOLD shuts down Defo. Then tries to kill his teammate who gave him the information. You know, BONECOLD, I didn't strike you as that kind of guy, but all right.
Oh, he's cold. It's in the name. I don't know why you didn't expect it.
You're right. You're right. That's on me. I can't blame anyone but myself.
Now, the benefits of pushing in this sort of scenario are basically just to try and do as much damage to ACEND's economy as possible. They're not going to gain anything for ultimates, as both are online. And in terms of finances, they're not in a bad spot. On the other side, though, hey, if they can get rid of all of this remaining weaponry, there's actually a chance that maybe there'll be an eco at some point. So, there you go, cNed.
It just means that they're, I guess, guaranteed to have... Wow. I didn't expect combat that early in the round, Tom, I'll be honest. And cNed has once again hit a shot before I've even registered that he's seen someone, including with X-ray. That's nasty.
It's not only going to be a trade, though.
He wants the
lost
res.
Kiles. Been having a pretty rough time. Yeah, they want to try and get the res through. Definitely help if they can bring him back. In fact, they're going to use the paranoia to try and hold on to this control. They don't want to allow for it. cNed well, it seems, has forced them away. Instead, they re-aggress, and while they res one player, and they lose another straight back.
You have to wonder at this point, you know, is BONECOLD kind of in his own head? It can be really tough if you start to get into that downward spiral. A lot of presence made outside the A side. They're walking back. This is the plan. A slow play into B site. They've got their res up. They've evened the numbers, and Zeek is seeing it's completely open. This could be very dangerous. Chronicle with the Odin up close. He peeks, and he's already pre-aiming it. What a disgusting shot as Zeek falls. He presumes they're already on the site. The TP coming in confirms it, but starxo shuts him down. That's the spike on its way into the site. Redgar has managed to TP up back. He's hearing the steps. He knows they're close, but they know he's here. It doesn't seem to matter. He still manages to connect onto starxo, and the numbers remain even. Oh, nice shot by cNed, but the knives aren't able to connect afterwards. It's damage, and it's scaring Sheydos. He's waiting for his buddy, his teammate, to come on in. The cam not quite getting cNed out of the way, but knives still to play with. An aggressive playstyle is expected. He switched up to the right side, and the collateral might be it here. The wall about to be put up for a very early aggressive peek onto short. cNed will be holding that now, probably for the duration of this wall. And if anybody pokes their head out, they will be in a lot of trouble.
I'm wondering if this is going to be a faster play. Using the drone very early on, potentially trying to pull a rotation or two, or trying to get someone to peek into the angle, but starxo, he's looking to fight, looking to brawl. Now, they are going into what is a lot of the utility. Now, there's always a cam above. This is the thing you have to check when you're up against Nats. He's just waiting and watching. He knows the players are coming through. The tag there as well. Even though he's paranoid, he can still find the kill, but doesn't actually get anything. Defo, though, has already managed to pick off one. The Hunter's Fury will surely find another. It's looking like the beginning of the end. 5 versus 3 as they need to fight this back.
The push through the smoke by Zeek. It was a glimmer of hope, but Chronicle is quick to shut it down, and Kiles is revealed by, I think, every piece of utility. 13 to 10. Either one could take it, but you know what,
friends
Tom?
with everyone. My name's Silly.
I just want everyone to have fun. But you know what? Only one team can take this spot. Only one team can be the first team to lock in their place as the EMEA representative in Berlin. And Tom, this is where we decided it's gone the distance, it's gone to map 3, and we're here on Icebox as the pistol round is about to kick off. We will see ACEND on the attacking side, and by the looks of it, the A side is under threat.
Oh, the A side's always going to be under threat. Have we got a shorty? How is this going to work? I'm all for this. I've seen it on Jet before. Because you dash in, look, pew pew, but how on earth is he going to make this work on a Reyna in an aggressive pistol round? He's hoping there's someone a little bit closer. The fact is there isn't, and actually going to get tagged up by the drone. That'll be the extra piece of information. Can't afford to shoot it, and almost gets it done, but doesn't find the kill onto Chronicle.
Well, I can't say I expected the fight to go differently, especially because they even saw that Sheriff when they tagged him up, right? When they revealed him, they will have seen, hey, that classic looks kind of chunky, but they still pushed him down. They took that fight close range. Fair play. Sometimes you got to have the balls to do it, and Defo certainly does. He's coming down middle, holding off that rotate and securing the B side, essentially keeping this 3-man hold in position. Now, Chronicle very low on health. He did get the kill, but wasn't able to heal up off of it. He's going to try to use his low health to his advantage, playing that sneaky little corner, bait for his teammates, potentially go down or trade out afterwards. I thought he had a gap in that wall. It looked like it, but it's safe. It's secure. He's got up above, and Chronicle's got one. Healing up, almost takes down the planter, isolates him, and allows his teammates to follow up on it. Further pushed by Redgar, lights up cNed, and he's all alone to clutch this out. 3 on the board already, though. Nats and Sheydos remain. They still have to defuse. His HP is desperately low. And both of these players have shields to work with, so it is easy.
The fact that we have some of the most individually skilled players in the world currently in this server gets me very excited indeed. I also want to premise that we've talked about the winner a lot. We've been, the winner gets that spot. The loser, if I've not mucked up the bracket, which it's very possible I have. I was looking at the nice little number graphic that we've seen. But the loser will face Forza or Team Liquid. And I will say, lower bracket Team Liquid is one of the scariest teams in the entirety of EU and EMEA. So, like, the fact is, we're looking at this as like, the other team will probably get through anyway. But it is a very real possibility that they won't.
Yeah, well, look, this is definitely your best opportunity. Just one map away.
Now, this is the first time we're going to see some weapons actually on the board. cNed, he's got his operator in the first possible moment. And on the other side of things, well, there's some weaker weaponry. Now, you do have Chronicle able to drop down on the shields because he'll be able to devour and heal himself back up. And that gives him an extra rifle to play a little bit more aggressively with. We've seen this composition played a million times. Sentinel's one of the ones that is always brought up with how aggressively they play this A site, with basically just two duelists looking to try and frag their way through it. A lot of teams have picked that one up. For now, though, it is looking like we're going to see the B hit, and this puts a lot of pressure onto Nats, and I bet you wish he had his cam right now.
Here.
The downsides of not playing Cypher, but you know what? He's going to have to retake, isn't he? Well, potentially. Because ACEND are moving towards that A site. They've shifted their focus in Chronicle. We've seen it many times before. Element, the one that spearheaded, made it a staple of the A site defense. The solo Reyna, he's still going aggressive. No shot landed, which means he can't escape. And Defo even gets shut down up above. This leaves the site into ACEND's control. A very tough retake for Gambit, considering the weaponry they have and the utility as well. They even had to use Sheydos' wall right at the start of the round because Kiles had revealed him in the close corner. And that means that they can't even afford to kind of block off these angles a little later.
It's about as awkward as a position as it could get for Zeek. He's just farming, padding those stats. Last man left is Sheydos. And even an extra kill here would be fine. For a bonus round, it's not really much of a problem. Get an extra ultimate orb. I think that we saw at the beginning when talking about X factors for this squad. I know that we sort of mentioned that you normally lean towards Defo. Solid round from ACEND. They're going to have a decent bank of cash behind them and still got a full buy for this.
Chronicle not quite giving up on the solo A holds. He's gone aggressive this time. I actually don't know what people typically call that position, but I've always referred to it as element ever since the absolutely insane plays that we saw from that man on OG. Shame we don't get to see more of them these days. A little wall up for the crossover. They're very worried about that operator in the hands of Defo, and they're right to be. That wall isn't down. Defo gets away with murder. He's going to destroy that drone, hopefully before they can spot the Reyna. And I'm not sure if they will have seen him. They definitely did now. And again, no escape for Chronicle. Defo does well to trade it back, but the site is being overrun. Sheydos is in. He's running in to try and take a fight. That is a brave play when the rest of his team is locked out by a wall, but he's made it out unscathed.
Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. The man is just disrespectful. He doesn't care. He normally finds a lot of impact from that position as well, but this time it's not really been necessary so far. cNed homed in on the angle. Counter operator on the other side, but in fact, Redgar's taken that away to allow Defo to try and gain some more space with him. starxo is going to turn it into a 3v3, try and go for a little bit more, but Defo's still going strong. His third kill of the round already. Nice shot from cNed, and now we're going to see the Blade Storm on either side, but this time Defo will come out on top. It's Gambit to nail their third round. The operator will be retrieved at that.
I genuinely think at times, at least in scrims, dude is much more annoying to play against than cNed.
Oh, he said it. Chat, get him. He said it. Like, that's the end of Mitch Mann's career. It's over. Sorry.
I wouldn't say much.
See you later.
It's a bit more. It's like it's a close fight.
He's backing down. Backing down.
I'd certainly rather. I'd rather. But at the end of the day, I think all Jets are great, and I just want them all to have a fun time. And as long as that happens, then we're all winners, aren't we?
Of course. Participation awards. We love them, but they don't get you to Berlin. So, yeah, there you go. 3-1. The buy coming out from ACEND actually is not that great, but that's because they have invested a heavy amount of it to get cNed another operator. They are looking like they'll get themselves an afterplant. The spam coming through, wall being broken, and Nats is actually going to deny that altogether, even putting down a snakebite to make sure they can't retrieve it instantly, and actually starts pushing into his own, taking a little bit of damage, and Zeek just goes straight through it, has the dismiss to get out of there as well. A 4v4 that maybe never should have been. and they've retrieved the spike once again and start to take this into their own hands.
Spike planted.
Oh my. A great recon by Kiles really set them up for that. It just left Nats with nowhere to hide, nowhere to go to try and dance through his own utility to even stay alive. Now Defo forced to save this operator, 1 versus 4. They will probably be hunting him down. They know what weapon this man has in his hands, and they definitely don't want him to take it. In fact, that updraft might have been hurt. He's certainly being spotted now. They need to be so careful. Dashing back towards the site. There's still a lot of time on that clock, and there's players pretty close. Zeek spotted on the corner. Good shot by Defo. Still trying to stay alive, and he connects a beauty onto Kiles. Sitting down patiently, knowing there's another player towards the pipes, the spam coming in, and the shot doesn't land this time around.
Just gonna be some pistols, so ACEND with the chance to really build into this half now and actually get some money in the bank themselves.
Here.
Here comes the drone again, the staple of this entry, clearing the corners. Defo hasn't been spotted. They're up above him. He's given his position away, though. Good shut down by ACEND. Deal with Redgar on the backside. Should be able to get this planted easy enough. Sheydos has once again gone for a bit of an aggressive fight. He gets walled in and just keeps on going, rushing them down. But Nats is alone. A sheriff in hand. Plenty of players that he can potentially pick off, especially BONECOLD, who's super low HP. Well, unfortunately, he won't get anything. And that flawless round.
But I think, well, if we get, hopefully, when we do see ACEND play in Berlin, I think it could be one of the most terrifying in the entire world. I can't think of too many that match up to it. I know there's probably some NA fans crying in chat, screaming maybe 1 or 2 names, but, you know, yeah, sure. I'm hoping that these guys will be able to prove themselves on that international scale. In fact, I'm hoping we see both of these teams there.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't give a damn if SEA wins Masters, as long as it isn't NA. That's my only wish. I couldn't care less who wins it as long as they aren't a North American team.
I'd be happy if like Korea won it. Like legitimately.
Oh hell yeah!
Like I'd love to see Vision Strikers do incredibly well. But for now, we've not lost all hope. Don't worry, we still believe in EMEA. And these are the 2 teams I think happy to. Well, yeah, it'd be mad if he just shot through it. He's gonna get a kill anyway. Surely not. Surely not. He goes into the smoke. Most people retreat. Not this man.
What he does doesn't make sense, but it's beautiful. Like, who stands there with an operator? Okay, sure, you're gonna peek that, go down for the mid peaks. Yeah, sure, why not? Who stands there when you smoke it off and then lets them push in and then stays aggressive? He's a psycho, but it works. I love it.
And speaking of aggression, after they lose the early man, they want to fight back. Sheydos, he actually gets 2. The second kill comes through, but there's a res available. It puts it into a 4 versus 3. They're going to need this man to pop off once again. The dash will at least get him back into the site, but well, you better believe he's not done just yet. So many opportunities to re-aggress. The slow actually still gives him an angle to peek around. He could get around the back, but cNed is ready for it. And now Zeek looks to take control of the rest of the site. There is a flank, Mitch, but it's a little bit far behind from where they'd like it to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Nats had the option to accelerate this, but definitely going to be something that's expected, and you see that with the recon going down. ACEND are conscious of the flank, and they've got plenty of players to cover it, and that's the main thing. If these players on the site manage to drop 1 or 2 more, that was damn close. You got to give Nats an A for effort on that one. But unfortunately, as he only finds the 1 kill, Redgar will be looking to save this weapon, maybe do a little bit of extra damage to ACEND on the way out. Remember, they had that flawless round not that long ago. They definitely have the credits stacked up, and the ult economy's going pretty significantly in their favor. Redgar, he's running in. He's making a lot of noise here to grab that operator, and he might not be able to get out, though. Oh, he's made it. Okay, fair play.
What?
He's out of there with the op.
The main issue I've had is, like, Chronicle's job is to get aggressive. Like, the point of the Reyna is to be able to dash it or to get out of there using the dismiss. Oh my god. I could watch these two fight each other all day. All day. The player you think is going to win every duel doesn't.
That's the beautiful thing about a lower bracket. Screw the team staying alive. It just means we get to watch at least one of these guys again. And that's good enough for me. With 4-4 on the scoreboard, it is definitely time to step it up when it comes to Gambit. They're up against a lot in terms of hardware, in terms of ultimates, and certainly in terms of manpower, because they're that one ahead. They're sitting pretty right now. GAMBIT are slowing it down. Yeah, they got that 3-man B stack. Nats wants to go for a little bit of a peek on the back of the drone. Good connection onto Zeek. And that's exactly what they needed.
It's slowed all the way back. The problem is these aggressive pushes we're seeing from
Poison
Chronicle,
orb
even
emitting.
if he just goes down, it works as an almost early alarm system for the rest of the team. Any noise that's made from this point
out of
out
my way.
will give that information over. And because
30
they're now
seconds
pushing
left.
into mid, they're going to know that this push is coming in this direction. Chronicle, realistically, if he can get one, he can get out of there. Chances of that could be slim, though, as I feel like they're going to expect him at this point, and they do. He does, however, get the kill, but he can't escape.
Oh, man, that was a damn good attempt. Staying alive
10
up top.
seconds
ACEND
left.
rushing over to the side to get this plant in. Sheydos could deny it. He's spraying away. Gets there, but not in time still. Can't even get the kill. Nats eliminates BONECOLD, but it's cNed in a 1v2. He's dangerous to flank, though. Is he aware of it? No. The timing perfect by Redgar.
It's because they just didn't have the time to do anything else. So Chronicle's aggression this time pays off in his favor, and I feel like ACEND are going to feel a little bit silly about that one, with one player almost dancing in their face, wasting a few extra seconds.
Now, this is going to be a very different approach by ACEND. Quickening the pace a little bit and eliminating Chronicle right away. He's not going to be a thorn in the side of the late round this time. Zeek could even go a little bit more aggressive here. You can already feel him jumping over, and it's a bait for cNed to take Nats
Spike
down.
planted.
Wow, beautiful play. As Sheydos is stuck behind this wall, there's a small gap for him to try and get through. Operators seem to be the dominant force of this match so far. cNed on top, just about misses, and that gives the opportunity here for GAMBIT. They are only one behind. The res brings it up into their favor a little bit more, but starxo completely ruins any hope they had of that one.
In other words, GAMBIT used almost everything to try and bring that one back and get absolutely nothing for it. Now, financially in the bin, surely not. He's actually just going straight for Sova. He's trying to catch him with the drone in hand, but instead, thankfully, at least for Kiles, his teammates had his back.
Now that's going to be the plant down for sure, and a retake for GAMBIT with weak weapons on the B site, and losing players right through the wall. Zeke's taken 2 of them without even seeing, and okay, Defo shuts him down, but there's plenty of players left to hold on to this one. cNed tagged up, and the Sheriff desperately trying to find something. Shock darts on the way through, but there is no one to follow up on them. Redgar. Oh my, okay. A quick double. He knows there's another player close, but just can't get it across the line.
I don't know what you mean. I haven't seen anything.
Well, he's not going to kill yet,
carrying
Tom.
on.
That's
No,
that's the problem.
la 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 la. Sorry, didn't hear anything. cNed though, he's got lots of kills. In fact, he might have enough for the both of them. He's going to win that opener once again. Just thriving on the attacking side. Chronicle, he couldn't see a thing. Just pre-fired the angle in the hopes of finding something, and he's getting more and more aggressive this time. Isn't able to dismiss away. That's Mitch's sign that Kiles is now on the board. And well, I don't know if it was necessarily the difference maker, but it now puts Nats
No, that was all
to a
Kiles.
1 versus 4.
That was all Kiles. His round right there.
Spike
Let's see.
planted.
He's going for more, going for double, but Kiles can't get there in time. Damn it.
Here we go. The replay op finally got a few seconds to breathe after what was a stacked first half from the double jets. And already, we're going to have a brawl in the early stages of the round. Really nice shot dart coming in from Kiles, and Zeek! He's just going to shut it down with cNed. An easy pistol round, it looks like, as Nats again, well, it looked like he was almost setting up for the afterplant. Not really going to be much of an afterplant at all, as he's now going to try and kill everybody remaining.
Poison orb
Maybe at
emitting.
least get closer to the Viper's pit. Would be nice. No, nothing.
You can tell.
He scanned their whole team and then shock dart killed another, so not a bad start to the round whatsoever. It's going to be a minute investment into this one. A few pieces of utility. Zeek even playing up top with a Bulldog is going to be pretty tough to clear. Oh. Maybe not. Maybe not. But
Zeek?
this is getting a bit awkward. He's actually just going to go in with the classic. Screw the Bulldog. It is his secondary weapon in this round.
He was really just sending that one. You know, I like GAMBIT's early approach. They avoid the scope. In this case, obviously being a Marshall. It takes cNed down. But now it gets tough because they're really kind of gambling on the surprise factor, right? On just rushing it down on the speed, let's say, not so much the surprise. But now that there's a rotate in, that there's 3 players on the A side, soon to be 4. They don't really have a great stance when it comes to a lot of these fights. BONECOLD no longer taking the double damage. He can survive another shot or a shock dart in. And this is looking like it's going to be very clean indeed. Only cNed that falls. You couldn't ask for a better follow-up round. Sure, I can see that. Okay, what are we going to be seeing here, Kiles? Let's see these shock darts go down. Oh, I hate... Jonas does these all the time.
It's the B push.
This is the first... Oh, he missed it. He missed the second dart, but hey.
A tear just went down Jonas's cheek.
That right there is an average Jonas lineup. Make sure to learn that one well. Kiles up close. Going to be challenged. Nice stuff. GAMBIT open up the mid control. Now they've got a lot of options. In fact, they still have their wall on Sheydos, so they can even go up and over if they want to.
It might be a little bit risky in a round with SMGs on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, mostly. They'd actually have a couple of rifles, and on the players that you'd probably want the rifles to be on as well with the performance we've seen so far. But again, this is GAMBIT all over. Slow, methodical. They have players watching. No chance that BONECOLD gets past that angle without a bullet hitting him in the face. This is a GAMBIT's perfect round. An early kill, they wait for players to push, pick up the second, and now they can just wander into the side. Like, this is almost exactly how it would have been planned from the very beginning.
It's very uncharacteristic when you think about, at least for you and I, Tom, what you think of with CIS teams, but cNed's coming in.
30 seconds left.
Catching them from behind. Nat's already down. Player up above's being spotted. There's a little bit of pressure on GAMBIT. Been a very good early round. They get their post plans, but now they don't really have any ground of their own. They're kind of stuck in the middle of all these players, and cNed and starxo are shutting them out. Okay, Defo manages to return another, but the numbers are now just equalized, and Zeek does well to find one, heals himself up. It's going to be the battle with Defo, but he's only 8 HP. He needs the headshot as he comes around the corner, and the dash is not going to work out. Zeek somehow gets that round with cNed, with starxo, and one of the better retakes that I've seen in recent memory. That is
Ridiculous.
Tom, you know what? I'm gonna have to step in here, okay? I'm gonna have to put my foot down for one. I'm all for throwing some jabs, making some fun of Ryan, but let's be real here. No, don't do it to him on his birthday. Come on.
Sorry.
Pick a better day.
I'll wait till... Oh, wait, no.
Give him some slack. Oh, look at this push right up through the tube. The kill to trade it back and take Zeek out. Looks like GAMBIT are out for revenge. They're not happy with the outcome of the previous round, and I don't think that's going to be to anyone's surprise. But where do they take it from here? The wall put down very early. It's something we'd see FPX. You know, they would still have their wall at this stage. They'd keep it for the late round and give them more options on where they want to go. But obviously, with it being a weaker round, they want to just fake out that control on the B side and then go up through tube, in through middle.
I think it's more likely that the Angel dies with the wall than places it early. With
Definitely.
what we see with him, it's more likely it never gets placed at all. Now, Kiles, that's an important spot, but this is a really awkward position. Luckily, he's got a man alongside him who doesn't really miss. And see you later. There's no way the BONECOLD misses a shot. A little bit of revenge for the last round, I guess. 11-5.
Something about sandals, or I don't know, one of the NA teams got in as well.
Blocking sight.
cNed early. Not gonna get too much done. Chronicle though, he's caught a very aggressive push from starxo. Maybe thinking this was a bit more of an all-in B play, or just trying to do something a little bit spicy with the wall that he's been placing.
Sideways. How is he playing that? He's on a ceiling. My God.
That's how he gets his lineups done properly.
If
he does them from above, an aerial
that's why
view.
That's why he missed his lineups. all the blood's rushing to parts of his body it shouldn't be, and he's in danger.
The man literally defies gravity. That's how good he is.
He should be playing Jet. My God, never seen it before. He's preparing for a moon mission after this. Well, ACEND have lost a man. Now, how do they respond to this? I mean, normally you'd push up and try to take space. You're against GAMBIT, though. You can't do that. They've tried. They've tried many times. starxo tried at the start of the round. We saw BONECOLD with the A push and get caught a couple ago. Oh, cNed somehow stays alive. I could watch that 10 more times and I still wouldn't understand how, and I feel like that's going to have big impact later on in the round. Hid behind the wall. Nice shot. Defo's down. The trade is in, though. Going to be on Zeke. 10 seconds left for that spike to be planted. They have to get it done here and now. I'm caught on the crossover. There is no way. 12-5.
Get out of my way.
And the downside is that ACEND are in the same spot. So they got BONECOLD. Kiles just about to get theirs online. A Viper's Pit. A Hunter's Fury and a Blade Storm could be a very dangerous set of abilities to have on. Oh, here's the wall up eventually, and they're not ready for it. Kiles gets rushed down. Great play by GAMBIT. They had the option before and avoided it. Now the dash into sight. cNed knows there's a player below, has to dash out of the way, knives out, and somehow Zeke is just destroying them. cNed delivers the knives to Defo's head, and Sheydos is the last man standing. He has to hold on in a 1v4, and it is not happening. 13-5. That will be the Masters 1 champions as the first team to lock in their place as an EMEA representative in Berlin for Masters 3. That is incredible.